formations in the Monument Valley in Utah. Now, most people think these are great sites and they're really amazed by the rock formations in Utah and Arizona. Well, when I looked at this, I was more than just amazed. What caused this? When did it happen? All right, what people don't maybe realize that this couldn't have been caused by glaciers, and there were no glaciers in this area ever. And it certainly wasn't caused by wind. So the only way you could have formations like this is if the dirt was actually at this level at one time. Okay, and the water that came back and forth from the ocean washed this away, all the rest of the dirt. Now, anybody notice what this looks like? Looks like Uluru, right? Uluru was on the bottom of the ocean. That's how it got shaped the way it is. So here's just an example of what happened when the water rushed through here. Okay, here's some other examples of the kind of rock formations in that area. Okay, now this is not just sandstone. This is the hardened sandstone, much like at Uluru or Olgas. This is hardened sandstone. Then you got this area in the Canyonlands. Okay, so you got more plateaus and just levels of being washed down lower and lower and lower. Then you got things like this in Arizona, where the main part of the Grand Canyon is located. It's all sandstone, a little softer sandstone in this area. And you got things like this, also in Arizona, north of the Grand Canyon, just below Utah. So what you have to consider is that at one point that part of the United States was above water. When the dinosaurs got killed, that portion of the United States went underwater. And now it's back above water again. So I said, okay, well, what would cause a cyclical event, even if it's not a complete cyclical pattern, but to cause part of the country to go underwater and then come back out, the same part? And I was curious as to what would cause that. There's a picture of the Grand Canyon, and you can see it's quite massive, much larger than what a river would create. And here's another picture from a brand new satellite that the United States put up a couple years ago, and I happened to pull this picture off the internet, one of the only pictures they had from this new satellite. And what you see is that this is the main part of the Grand Canyon going through here. And of course we were taught it's from a river. Well, I never believed that even in high school. And then we have these forks coming all the way through here of other areas, and there's no rivers coming from any one of these points, any one of these other points. So the only river is really the one running down the middle. So I said, okay, well, and if you go down to the end of any of these, it's all a 100-foot drop straight down, just as if the water came through and just ate it away as it rushed across it. Okay, and you can also see here that this ridge going along the edge, if you're familiar with how water will eat out a river or a stream when it floods, you'll see the exact same formation on the edge of a river or stream. So that shows that this was a mass amount of water. Now, then I said, why have we been lied to about our entire lives about the Grand Canyon? It obviously wasn't created by a river, and it was obviously created from the ocean running off of it. They don't want people to believe in catastrophic events